Well, hello there, and welcome to the Doucheless Vegan, Doucheless Nation. Been watching a lot of Parks and Rec on Netflix, and Crazy Ira and the Douche are the faux morning show, and they call themselves Douche Nation.
I'm seeing a merch opportunity here.
Yes, I feel like Doucheless Nation is going to
our new clothing
coach
line.
That. Yep, absolutely. Doucheless Nation, ball caps, Doucheless Nation, crop tops. Let's make it as douchey as possible.
Doucheless Nation thongs.
Thongs. I just saw Miley Cyrus's thong.
I don't need to see that.
I know. Well, I have to say, nice ass. I'm just saying. Apparently, she's been body shamed, and people said she had a turkey butt, and so she sort of said, "Take this," and then said, "By the way, get tickets now that I have your attention." And I love that. That's what I do too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's unapologetic. I mean,
she is.
I don't. There's some of her shenanigans I don't really support all that much. Like her Robin Thicke.
Well, no one
schmozzle.
enjoyed that. Gosh, I remember my mom saying, "What is going on here?" And what. I was like, "Why is he dressed like he's from the Foot Locker?"
I know, right? Like,
that was.
And why isn't she dressed?
She wasn't dressed at all. She was wearing like that Grandma Millie beige underwear. Remember the old school?
Yes.
Why are you like flesh doesn't work on anyone?
I know, and it was up to her ribs, right?
Yeah,
like
it was high waist panties.
It was not. It was not pretty. And don't get me wrong, like I admire her as a singer-songwriter. I think she's a phenomenal songwriter. Yeah. I really think she's a phenomenal vocalist, but girlfriend, you need someone helping you out with your PR there, because you make some really silly decisions.
She was rocking a mullet for a long time this year too, and I think that was an homage to her papa.
Well, it could be Billy.
That's right. And why wouldn't we be business in the front and party in the back whenever we can? My hair is just party. My hair is like, what's going on?
Yeah, you're a party 24/7.
My hair is like, just, are you lost in the wild? Should we tame you? Were you raised by wolves? We should introduce ourselves. I'm Carla Collins, a plant-based comic. That's right, Preacher Lawson, I'm coming for you. You're not the only one, dude. And, of course, Michael Stewart Webb, our Obi-Wan Kenobi of veganism.
Bonjour.
So I like that because we never stop, we're such chat monsters, we just almost start this show halfway through a conversation we were already having. Like, well, let me tell you about Miley. Let me learn you something.
Well, I mean, I love it. I mean, and
it's very organic.
I absolutely, and I think people enjoy that, right? I mean, it's not overly produced. I mean, it's not produced at all.
No, you're not wrong. It's not overly produced.
Oh yeah, it's not even
what with
remotely
the lasers and
produced.
Dancing Boys. We still don't even have music starting us off. It's just quiet, and I say, "Hi, welcome."
I know.
And we sometimes hear an animal in the background.
We always hear an animal in the background.
You already heard from the birds.
Yeah,
so
exactly. They've chimed in.
Broadcast live from the funny farm where I'm still occupying space.
Praise the Lord.
I know.
You're the only thing keeping me sane during this whole
honey, you and
apocalypse.
Me. Sweetheart, I don't know what I'd do. You're my emotional support vegan. You know that. Like, I don't know. I honestly, if it wasn't for you, I'd just be like, so everyone's literally crazy. Full on. I don't know. We keep running into more and more crazy.
They're
not mentioning names.
It's so true. Honestly, there is more and more cuckoo percolating to the surface with every passing moment. It's mind-boggling to me.
It really
is. So praise God for you. You are the only, vestige of sanity I have left in my life.
I don't know. Like, I am so feeling sorry in advance for any of my friends in Los Angeles, because they're going to be like, Michael used to do this. That's not what Michael and I did. Oh my God. I'm going to be a nightmare.
I apologize.
Nightmare for them. Like, this is what we did on the farm. When are we doing this? Hey, Michael. You're going to be the Marsha Brady of, of Los Angeles, where I'm just pining for you. But I will return, of course.
You are returning.
I am returning.
Yes.
So hopefully they lift this bullshit COVID. I'm not staying in the COVID hotels, which is literally what they're calling them.
I don't understand that either. Like, what, $2,000 for 3 days and some...
The math doesn't make sense. That I don't know why I'm staying somewhere where people from all over the world are staying when I could be at the farm.
Yeah.
Which
is safer.
Count on me to be a responsible adult. I've been quarantined here the whole time.
Exactly.
Like not.
Well, you couldn't get any safer. I mean, you're removed from,
I have the whole
masses.
Top floor to myself.
You do?
Well, myself and various animals, but, they're not in danger, nor am I.
No, I don't think we can catch it from Kitty.
I don't think so.
Or pass it along to kitties.
No, because it would have by now.
Yes, the way you're making out with them 24/7.
I just. By the way, so we'll start with this. I'm wearing my Marilyn Monroe dress. You're welcome. But I just looked down, and I feel like I look like a Yeti because I have all of the Nibbler's white hair on me.
Yes.
I'm all dressed up, not just for the podcast and for you guys, because, every now and then I wear makeup, but I had a fabulous interview this morning.
With none other than Anne Brodie.
Anne Brodie, formerly of CTV. Now she has been a journalist forever. She was actually my boss, my producer, when I was working in the newsroom, which, if you think I don't belong on a farm, you should have seen me in a newsroom, kids. And so I was holding the nibbler because I know Anne's a cat person. I'm like, look at me, I love pussy now too, as in the animal. And I have to say, so she's reviewing and doing a story on Pandemic.
Yes.
My new album, and I haven't spoken to Anne. She has interviewed me, like when I had my book since then. And I just got to say, I feel on top of the world because I'm not trying to throw any shade at podcasters because everyone's now can interview, right? I mean, really,
well, look at me.
Everyone like us.
Well, you have at least some broadcasting experience. I just have some mouthing off experience.
No, you're natural, honey. You're natural at everything you do, which is oddly creepy. In fact, because I'm like, is he even human? It's so wonderful to be interviewed by a pro.
Yeah, well, I was sitting very quietly in the background, dominating some shit, listening to
You were doing some real estate moguling.
I was listening to your interview, and as soon as you signed off with Anne, my first comment to you was, "What a remarkable interview, consummate professional." And it was really interesting for me, as someone with like less than zero broadcasting experience, to listen to two pros going at it. It was really a wonderful experience. I mean, you were a phenomenal subject, and Anne was a phenomenal interviewer. It was
she mentioned the doucheless vegan.
She did mention us.
Research.
Hello.
I know, and she was wildly flattering and complimentary. Because I have to be honest, I just said. I think I annoyed the shit out of her in the news.
Back in the day?
Back in the day, because, again, I was this wannabe comedian. I'm doing entertainment reporting. And but she said I had her laughing every day, so it was very nice to hear. And wonderful that we've remained buddies. Anne and I share a bond that Anne lived with her mom the entire time I knew her.
Yeah, you've got your moms in common.
And her mom passed, and so we bonded over that. I sent her a little note after the interview saying, first of all, I said, like, I respect and admire her so much. Like, she's iconic. She's like, you can.
She's a legend.
She's a legend. I said, nobody does it better. And I think our moms are having wine together. I have no idea whether Anne's mom drinks, or my mom is having both of their glasses and talking to Anne's mom. Yes. I like to think that. So.
I would dare say that anyone who is sharing your mom's company is probably drinking and smoking.
Absolutely.
Whether they drank and smoked previously is irrelevant.
Secondhand drinking is a problem. Just getting drunk on the fumes. But it was, I can't tell you how uplifted I feel. It was nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I loved speaking to her because, we're kind of in a time where people, and you think, oh, they're not getting this at all. And she doesn't typically review albums. And she's like, I listened to it twice. Like, she's so thorough and picked out anyway. Thank you so much, Anne Brodie. And I'm just really feel blessed that I got to chat with her this morning. She was adorable. She's like, I couldn't wait for this for weeks.
Oh my God.
I know, the Broadster, because you can imagine. I mean, Tom Gibney, God rest his soul. His daughter reached out to me because I called him the Gibbinator. So again, at the time, I'm glad that everybody looks back on it fondly as they did, because I'm sure at the time he was like, if this bitch calls me the Gibbinator one more time, and I'm sure Broster
I'm going
was
to prison.
I swear to God, Carla, stop trying to squeeze in your jokes. I know I was a scamp.
Oh my God.
I was a rascal.
But that's exactly what endeared you to him, right? I mean, he was such a hard ass.
And Anne was a hard ass. Like, it was a bunch of hardcore news people. And then they have this
bubbly
come in like, woo! and God, if you think I'm bubbly now, like I am. Listen, I'm nice. I'm a nice combo of jaded and like really, I needed to be tasered back then. Oh, good God. Somebody just needed to chloroform my enthusiasm. So me cartwheeling through the newsroom and
literally.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that everybody is remembering the times that they shared with you in the newsroom fondly.
Oh, like, gosh, how could they that's not? Lovely. I hope so, because I think, that's why 2020 hindsight is so important. I'm great that's how I remembered, because I'm greatly happy about that, because I'm sure at the time, I'm sure Anne wanted to strangle me more days than I have a photographic memory, so I know she was just like, I just always saw a lot of people exhaling like, Used to bring Buster in, brought my animals. God. Sometimes they wouldn't allow me on the anchor desk. I was something where else they call it the Orange Grove. Like they'd stick me outside so there wouldn't be shenanigans.
Oh my God. Well, listen, this is
the corner a lot.
This is fodder for some funny reminiscing.
It is. Everything's fodder, baby.
Absolutely.
And I love that. I love that about life. Everything that happens, again, it's always, not to sound trite, but it's either a lesson or it's great for your memoirs. You don't have to be a comedian to be a great storyteller to have that or to laugh at it. I mean, those
absolutely.
And remember, nothing great happens when it's all going well, right? All these people, like, I don't know what a spiritual awakening is. I keep telling you that. I think I keep hitting snooze. But people say it's through these either horrific times or challenging times or, difficult times like everybody's had the last year and a half, that the big shifts, changes, nuggets of wisdom, all that stuff comes through, right? Like when everything's going well, we're just lighting cigars with $100 bills, and
it's all meaningless, right?
I mean,
it's through the challenges of life that we become tempered and better people. And I think that using your years in the newsroom as an example, I think our legacy, our true legacy, is not the monetary contributions that we might have made. It's not the wing of the local hospital that's branded in your name. It's the lives that we've impacted along the way. And I think it's the stories that people share with others about their interactions with us that are the true legacy. And I think it's the way we're remembered fondly that is our true legacy.
Absolutely. Now, having said this, I fully expect there to be Michael Stewart Webb wing.
I know
there will be.
Yeah, heads will roll if there's not.
Okay, first of all, let's not be crazy. That's obviously going to happen. But I would also say, this is something that my buddy Paul Schmidt and I talked about. That
I love Paulie.
Paulie's the best. My other little brother. So many younger brothers. Why am I old? But veganism is giving you this, everybody. People listening are like, what the hell? And I don't care. I'm owning it now. Confidence is everything. So one of the, I think one of the cons of social media, and obviously there are a million pluses, is that it's sort of killed the art of storytelling.
Totally.
Because your imagination and, you could embellish and, this is something that would be handed down tribally from generation to generation. And I do believe that is the legacy. So the great thing is in the newsroom, I mean, it was really before Facebook and where I was working there. And so these are legendary things, and it wasn't documented, and we were actually enjoying moments as opposed to our phones being in front of us.
Absolutely.
And I'm just as guilty, guys. Like, I'm all into it too, but there was a magic to that I hope we always still retain.
Yeah, I sure hope so. One of my biggest pet peeves, as you will know, is how language has de-evolved, right? And it's through the advent of technology that, like people just speak in consonants now, right? I mean, there's
K- no HBD. Right. You can't say happy birthday?
Yeah, like come on. And so everything is abbreviated and everything's just a pile of consonants and there's no punctuation anywhere and it's just a stream of consciousness bullshit, right?
Yes, exactly. And people keep saying leucine instead of losing. Which really changes the
whole to spell, please.
Meaning of your post.
Completely, yes. Let's not go there.
So, yeah. So it was, and that's like that. This is, I told you two things. Sometimes you want people to just ride off into the sunset.
Yep.
So that you can retain that screenshot in your mind. I'm sure I've spoken about this. I think even just last week. And the other is the whole art of storytelling. It's
a lost art.
Stories, and I think that is what creates legacies.
Completely.
So that was wonder. I don't know. I'm absolutely floating. So you can always tell someone's energy or how something went by the after effect, right? Just like some stuff, like we do here on The Juice is Vegan, has a bad aftertaste, and you're like, oh, this is after, and some just leave you elated and uplifted and all the goofy words, but that's how I felt. Like at one point I said, Anne, you have 6 hours to stop with the conflict.
She was very effusive.
And again, it meant so much because Anne is not. Anne tells it like it is, and she's tough as nails and has been doing this a long time and doesn't pull her punches, like she's been reviewing movies. As I said, this is a little out of her realm. So I also thought, is this going to be too salty? I'm not sure how she's going to feel about it, but I knew she'd be a consummate pro, but so.
Great interview, honestly. As an outsider, observing quietly, it was a phenomenal interview. And I've always admired Anne's career.
Oh, God.
She's a consummate professional. And just listening to the two of you interact on professional but personal kind of feel and note. It was a beautiful interview, honestly.
Oh, thanks. It felt like that. Yeah, again, I felt that's why I said I think our mothers are drinking and watching over us. I have to say that I don't like to disappoint. And before she started to record the Zoom, I had the nibbler on my lap, and I'm like, Anne, look at my pussy. I have several. And of course, she didn't flinch because she deal with me for years, and she just went, yes, I've heard that. I'm sure you do. And what about her business? So imagine that every day. Hey, newsroom. Okay. We're dealing with murders right now, Carla. We don't have time. It was terrific, and I look forward to seeing that back.
Me too.
I know that she works for a few online publications and TV shows, but I think her main one is a show called What She Said. So I watched that and post it. So thank you, Anne Brody.
So keep your eyes out for.
It's nostalgic for moi today.
Hands down, it must have been an awesome experience for you to rekindle your relationship with Anne. And
have very fond memories of my CTV days.
Oh,
again, it wasn't
how could you not?
What I wanted to do, but great stuff. Yes, and
how could you not? Are you sure?
Friendships from those days, of course.
Of course, and it was formative for you, right? I mean, it taught you a smorgasbord of skills that you took with you throughout your career, even in stand-up. I mean, during this interview, for example, you commented on your gig at the Elmo and playing to, for all intents and purposes, an empty room, and we only had 50 people there each night.
Yeah, less than. Well, actually, even the Zoom shows, I've always credited that this has been, I think easier for me than comedians, from what I've talked to every
because
comic.
of your previous experience in broadcast.
There was no one in the radio room often, and often no one in TV if we didn't have a live audience. So you kind of had to throw your stuff out there. And I feel, and I was a broadcaster longer than I've been a comedian, so I think it really did serve me in this particular plague.
Well, I think that's what makes you so freaking good at what you do, and so attainable in truth, right? So I think, and we all throughout the course of our lives, if we're prepared to pick up the tools and stick them in our toolbox, are afforded all of these phenomenal opportunities to learn soft skills that we can carry through life.
Well, I only have a couple of skills. It's all in arts and fine arts. I didn't diversify. So, I love that Anne opened. Carla, I understand you're on a farm, and I've got to tell you this. Nothing would shock me more.
Surprise.
I thought I was out of place in a newsroom. God. You should see me on a farm.
Keep them guessing. We were talking about that this morning too, right? You got to leave a little bit of something in reserve.
Mystery's everything.
Absolutely it is.
Gotta have a little mystery. And again, my whole thing is, I always joke that I would join a cult with the right sales pitch, but I love doing something that seems the absolute opposite of me. I don't know why people don't embrace that more. You never know. Try that walk on the wild side.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, jump back in.
Exactly.
Out of it. But
exactly.
I've fully embraced it. Well, again, listen, I'm a woman of extremes. I don't have the 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm trying to get a little more gray. Not my hair, of course, which will remain bleached blonde until my death. But 50 Shades of Grey Goose. I'm always all in. So
you are. And I love
I'm
that
never
about
half-assed.
Yeah, I love that about you. You are always, You're always balls to the wall. And if you can't do 110%, you're not doing it at all. And I really admire that about you.
Yeah, or I'll try to learn how to do, because it's so, but how do you get the full immersion?
Unless you're immersed.
Experience. I mean, that was, that's my whole philosophy with languages. I knew that, like, unless you're somewhere like in France or Quebec or somewhere in New Orleans, and you're in a place where you're hearing the language, you're not really going to learn it. You're not going to learn about the people, the sayings, the slang, the history. You've got to be in that linguistic bath. And I feel that, so because I learned French when I was a little peanut, I've carried that with everything. Like, okay, if I'm going to learn about anything in your life or the farm life, you got to go right in. If that means breastfeeding chickens, well, so be it. Metaphorically speaking.
Dag nabbit, you're going to be breastfeeding some chickens.
It's just me in overalls. Woo! And also it's spectacular. Like, you think that when I was listening to, again, I was listening to all these things, and there was something that really struck me, and I don't know who, I'm sorry, but who the YouTuber was, but he said, what if you take away your beliefs about everything? Because whatever belief you're holding is something based on the past, like your past experience, at the DMV or something, or a projection of the future. And it sounds simple, but how difficult to take that away. So I try to do that. Like, if I had no preconceived notions, because we always enter in something like, well, this guy's going to be a total douche rag. And okay, what if you took that out and you were just aware of it and just experienced it? And it sounds a little bit woo-woo, and it's not easy to do. But I did try to, like, all right. And my thing is, like, let's embrace it. What if the farm is what I truly am? What if I'm my inner farm child?
Well, and clearly it is who you are.
So yeah, there's that. I don't know. I also have the boredom threshold of a toddler. It's real, like, so I want to try new things.
Yeah. Oh, and you and I have that in common.
Oh God! Well, you're getting your helicopter's license for
it's
the
true.
love of the Lord.
I know.
That's even a little beyond me. Yeah.
Yeah,
the world opens up.
I know, again. And I was so bummed because, of course, as you know, I had started getting my my helicopter pilot's license just before the pandemic hit, and I had to stop.
Why are you gay? Because right now I'm very attracted to you. Helicopter license, cool. You're also pretty fearless.
Oh, you gotta be. And that has come as a result of life experiences and challenges. And I think that in life we can allow our challenges to temper us and make us stronger. Define us, or we can allow them to undermine our full potential. And that's a choice. And you know as well as I do that, and we're wired the same way. Life is about a series of choices, right? Nothing is circumstantial. Everything is about your choice and how it is that you are going to go about dealing with the plethora of stimuli that gets thrown at you throughout the course of your life. Everything in life is about a choice.
Right, and what you focus on, right? Because our brain can only take in so much.
For sure.
So whatever you're going to focus on is going to become your reality.
Absolutely. I'm like, let's face it, like, life can be really shitty sometimes, right? And it's how you deal with those moments that define who you are and send you on a particular trajectory.
Not the falling, it's the getting up.
It's the getting up, right?
We're always all falling, and the failures make us.
Absolutely.
It's
oh my God. Throughout the course of my life, I've screwed up so badly on occasion, and I would never wish to undo any of it because I wouldn't be who I am today had I, if there was a rewind button.
No, you have zero regrets.
I don't have any regrets. I mean, even the shittiest of my relationships, I don't have any regrets. I mean, I've learned something.
You're very Edith Piaf that way.
Am I?
No, rien de rien. My mom's favorite.
Oh my gosh.
My brothers still can't watch the remake of A Star Is Born because Lady Gaga sings Edith Piaf.
Oh, she does. Yeah, and it reminds them of your mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. And that's the other thing is that we all have our different ways
of dealing with stuff. Yeah, I'm the master of compartmentalization.
I'm the master of running full blown into it and weeping.
And I think that's healthy. Probably healthier than compartmentalizing.
Well, no, I tried to outrun it and that didn't work. So I'm like, now I'm going to have to face these demons. As I said, some days you want to give yourself a break. You don't always have to face your demons. You can turn your back on them.
Sure you can.
And ignore them like, I don't see you. You don't always. It's always it's a moment by moment thing.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, eventually they're going to tap you on the shoulder, I suppose. But
and because they're demons, they tap you on this shoulder. But they're
is that the devil's
side?
Yeah.
They're doing that whole thing.
Oh yeah.
You know that they're shenanigans. Those demons. As I said, I would just picture them wearing something ridiculous. That's all.
My gosh, yes.
I don't want to see my
like a leopard print onesie.
Now you're saying that like it's a bad thing. I obviously own several.
Oh my God, I have this image of Shania Twain in my head now.
Oh well, of course, she was the queen.
She was
of
the
that.
queen of leopard unitards.
Yeah. You don't hear that word a lot.
No.
That's my joke about her and her ex-husband. Mutt.
Oh, Mutt Lang.
They both fell in love with each other. He left her for her best friend,
and she hooked up with
the best friend's husband.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that's what we call a do-si-do.
Swing your partner round and round.
That's right.
Quite literally.
Throw them on the ground and switch up the partners. I don't know exactly how the words go. I'm not a big country aficionado, but
is that country? I don't know.
Shania Twain, she's country.
No, I'm talking about the little
do-si-do.
Yeah, the little do-si-do song. Is that country?
Do-si-do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's square dancing.
What the hell do I know?
I'm pretty sure square dancing is country.
I don't know, probably.
You don't see Cardinal official square dancing.
No, I suppose that's true. I'm all of a sudden, having flashbacks now to Hee Haw.
Our friend Linda Thompson was on Hee Haw.
Was she really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Hee Haw.
That is
my God.
I know. Isn't it crazy how our minds work?
Who was it? I know I love
Pearl. Was she not the one with the price tag
Pearl, that's
hanging
right.
from
she
her
had
hat?
A price tag on her hat. Was she from Hee Haw?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, of course she would be. Oh dear.
Too funny.
It's ridiculous. You have a cat named after her. Just so you know how we rock here, how it goes. So, we'll get some vegan stuff in.
Yeah, let's do that.
It will be like hours from now.
I know. Let's do that.
We've got a few things to tell you about this week. One that we forgot about last week when we were talking about Michael Stewart Webb's soon to be published in our book, The Doucheless Vegan, amazing vegan Caesar salad.
Oh my God, it was.
Balls. We had it again this week, obviously.
Yeah, it was clutch, and I think we should do it again.
Oh, you can do that every night. And by the way, somebody reached out on Insta and thanked us for the tip on the tempeh bacon.
Yes,
thank you, Rob.
Yes, thank you so much, Rob. We also received a comment from a friend, an old school chum of mine from elementary school, Sandra Powell, and she's a baller. She works for RBC and is at the top of the food chain with RBC in her field of expertise. So her comment was about our last podcast. She just finished the episode and she loved it. And anyone sitting on the fence about starting a plant-based lifestyle should listen to that podcast. We some pretty amazeballs stuff in that last podcast.
We did, guys. Our point is not to be missionaries and convert anyone because, as it's so divisive. The vegans
oh my God, totally.
The carnivores, and there's a whole political thing, and then there's the top 10 vegan influencers. Whenever because I'm new to this realm, right? It's been 9-10 months for me.
Yep.
I'm just, holy shit. And it's hard not to be passionate because I've been a lifelong animal activist and lover. But I don't know that it's as effective.
Well,
forcing something down someone's throat.
No,
right?
it's not. I mean, the fastest way to get somebody not to do something is to tell them to do it, right? I mean, people need to draw their own conclusions, and that's what we're trying to do.
But we are, but I can't help but bestow the benefits because, as I said, I'm like a case study.
Well, I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? I mean, we're providing information and data for people to articulate their own conclusions with, and we're not trying to ram it down people's throat. But this is a very, very contentious subject.
It is because look, it's the 3-pronged stool, right? The 3-legged stool. You have your health. Because it's literally been proven that you can reverse diabetes and, again, not have to be on meds, that it's very healthy for you. That's what I was trying to say on the last show and the changes I've seen. Obviously, and it saves the environment. You don't have the exact stats, but to look them up, like how much rainforest, how much land it takes to make a quarter pounder. And, of course, the animals. That it's, we do not need to slaughter, torture, or kill animals. That's optional.
Yeah.
So you've got those 3 things. So I get how you can be impassioned about it, but it seems to never have any discourse. Like,
We need to talk about
it. Vegans just fight with the, you just hear everybody's eyes rolling.
Well, sure, because, and then, the message gets lost in all of that rhetoric, right? I think it's important, however unpleasant it might be, to deliver information. But I think it needs to be delivered in such a way that it affords the recipient to draw their own conclusion without feeling like they're being judged.
Yeah, no one who wants to be shamed into doing something.
Nobody.
And again, everybody's bodies and health, they're different. That's why I said I can only speak for myself, but here's the radical, wonderful benefits I'm experiencing. And that's why we say, maybe you just introduce a meatless Monday or go a little more plant-based. We talked about the fact that 80% plant-based diet gives you pretty much the same benefits as full-on vegan if that's not possible for you. Or I know a lot of things online are the 21 days. Try it for 21 days or 30 days. See how you feel. See the differences it brings.
Sure.
That's all we're talking about. But I'm just like, well, I'm not going back. I see how you can get super militant. I just don't want to go there.
No, well, I don't think it serves anybody. It doesn't serve anybody.
No.
I mean, as you know, I have very strong opinions about my motivations for choosing this lifestyle.
You're not quiet about them.
What's that?
You're not quiet about them with me.
Not with you, anyway. But
you're not.
I'm not hopping on my soapbox and and demanding in some Hitler type way that everyone come join me. I mean, it's not a cult. I do have very strong feelings about the way we treat animals.
Les animaux, yes, of course. And that's you're living your truth.
Well, absolutely. And my truth isn't anybody else's necessarily, but I think it is important to deliver information. And Paul McCartney, for example, said that if abattoirs had glass walls, everyone would stop eating meat.
I know.
And the thing is, like, as unpleasant as it is, if you're going to make a choice to have a steak on your plate, you need to know where it came from. It did not come from the grocery store.
Well, I remember even our buddy Corey Stewart saying, I know, so it's like eating the animal's nightmares.
Well, it is.
And I said, yeah.
It's terrifying.
Why do you think everybody who's spiritual, because, this is such a big movement, too, is everybody wants to be woke and spiritual and closer to their higher self or whatever you believe in. Well, it stands to reason that you're going to be a little more pure if you're not ingesting somebody who's suffered.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
exactly.
There are other sentient beings. I always loved that Bill Maher said, we're not the dominant species. We're sharing this planet with the animals.
Well, of course we are. And, I think that a lot of people navigate through life, too, with their blinkers on, right? And
we all do.
Of course we do. But you also, as an adult, need to be responsible.
And informed.
Right? And, I always say, like, if you're consuming animal products, you're not an animal lover, you're a pet lover.
Right.
You love your doggy. If you're not gonna put your dog on the dinner table, then why would you think it would be okay to put, a pound of some other creature's flesh on your table? Like, it just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like,
I know your wording's always strong too.
Well, I just don't believe. I don't believe in
very Merchant of Venice.
Well, I just don't believe in pulling punches, right?
Well,
I'm very
God.
laconic, and I make no apologies for it. And the beautiful thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. You've lived with me now for a year.
And it's been the best.
Me too.
Oh my goodness,
and I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just like, I navigate through life in such.
That's how you talk about everything.
It
not
is
just veganism, by the way, guys. This is
everything.
How Michael talks about everything.
You always know where you stand with me, and there's no venom. There's no. I'm not being acerbic. I'm not being vitriolic.
I love it.
You're
very French that way, and I know a Brit doesn't want to hear that, but that's how the French are. They're like, well,
the Brits are like that
today.
too, right? I mean, the Brits are pretty in your face about most things.
There's no passive aggressive, no peeking. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
behind your back
off.
bullshit.
Here are the facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just don't believe in dancing around the bush. Like time.
Well, you certainly don't. You're a gay man. Sorry, I can't. This is why I was a nightmare in the newsroom. No, you don't believe in dancing around the bush whatsoever.
I love it. That's a riot. Let me endeavor to inscribe that on my notepad.
I'm going to stitch it on a pillow. Well,
That's awesome.
We were talking before the show because I happened to see this morning, and I love this. Look, I love Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I really love everything about him, and I'm sure he can be a weirdo at times too, but I also love
Well, can't we all?
So his son, River, which I love, obviously named after his brother, he is in the news saying, no, I'm going to educate my son. I will absolutely not force him to be a vegan because, you know, Joaquin Phoenix is one of the best known vegans.
Yeah.
Animal rights activists, yada, yada. And I love that. See, he gets it. Like he said, no, he can make his own decision.
Absolutely. Well, and you know.
Because who's going to rebel faster than my dad's Captain Vegan? I would be like,
oh, no.
Look at me. I'd be on a Brontosaurus burger from the Flintstones. Like, so right? Beautiful. He gets it.
Yeah.
You can't force anyone. It's the fastest way to ensure that they become contrarian and do the opposite.
Sadly, you know, we should be doing taking the same approach with religion too, right? Like let your babies make their own decisions about what faith they follow.
Listen, honey, with the whole thing that's happening in Canada and the insidious find of the 215 residential school children, like really, if this doesn't put the nail in the frickin' Catholic coffin, I don't know what will. Because enough. It's man-made. And enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an entirely different conversation, but I agree with you. Like,
it is.
Organized.
I mean, I know your parents also. Yeah, that's the whole thing because we were taught you can't talk about money, religion, or politics.
Bullshit.
But we need to.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll just, and pretend shit's not going on.
Yeah.
What purpose does that serve? You know what? That just perpetuates.
Wait, we have to be a voice because they no longer have theirs.
Absolutely. And similarly with the animals. Like the animals need a voice.
Well, as I said, Sinead O'Connor's been in the news because apparently she's going to end her 40-year career. And turns out she was right. She ripped up a picture of the Pope, and of course, it was a career killer.
The backlash was
insane.
Was ridiculous.
But again, as we started this whole show, hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, right? Perspective 2020.
Yeah.
Not
but you know
so
what?
wrong, was she?
No, she wasn't. But and one of my other philosophies in life is that if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And I don't want to be a sheep. I want to forge my own path and be responsible and the master of my own destiny. I don't need shit force fed to me.
No, and
I want to articulate my own choices.
Yes.
And
vive la différence. That's we all should be able to.
Absolutely. And both you and I do kind of drive our own bus, but at the same time we embrace everyone else's difference and their right to be different. We're not criticizing someone because they're a devout Catholic.
No, of course. I was raised Catholic. Of course not. And listen, my grandmother and my aunts in Sault Ste. Marie built 4 or 5 churches off the Joan of Arc bingo. Yeah. And listen, it's beautiful.
Of course.
You have to go individually. They were extremely spiritual, extraordinary women who did beautiful work. I mean, I'm not, but organized religion isn't my thing. That's the whole thing. You get to choose worship, whatever. Maybe, as my brother says, if you want to be a puppet, become a puppet. I'm like, I love that. I am now made of felt. Everybody deal with it.
I love that.
Like, just, of course, that's, be who you are, and everybody should have the right to express it. But I just think, and I mean this on both ways. I was speaking to Donna Roberts, and I said, "Here's why I," and she's like, "It's tough because I'm still having cheese." She's in Vermont, and I said, "That was the last thing to go for me too." Like here's why I've liked it. Here are the reasons. You got to do you.
Absolutely, but I think it's important to be open to it as well. So if you're on the fence, just give it a whirl and see.
Do that 21-day thing.
No judgments. Fine. If it doesn't work for you, that's sad, but okay. Yeah. Just give it a whirl. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Exactly. So now let's circle jerk back.
Yes, ma'am.
To the yeast infection.
Oh,
that's not what we were talking.
No, nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. I'm always a little like, what? Why? Okay. It's nutritional yeast. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
It really needs a better publicist or name. But anyway, this is amazing stuff, though.
It is,
because of something that is very controversial about veganism.
Yes. So the prevailing opinion is that we need animal products to survive because there are nutrients in animal products you can't get elsewhere.
By the way, you were doing a slight imitation there. Sort of tips your hat.
You will always know how I feel about something.
Yes.
You will always know
how I feel about something. I feel like I just got bitch slapped. Yes.
So, and let's just call it, that's total propagandist bullshit. And so, people have always been maintaining that, you can only get B12 from animal products. Right. Again, I'm calling bullshit, because you can get all of your B vitamins in this phenomenal, delicious product called nutritional yeast. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's packed with all kinds of phenomenal, it's like a superfood.
Yes. And I'm all about the superfoods. They're like superheroes for me.
Yes.
Every time there's the word super, I'm in.
And so, this nutritional yeast is an ingredient in our Caesar salad dressing.
Yeah.
And so nutritional yeast is fortified. And so some of the benefits are these. So in a quarter cup of nutritional yeast, which is quite a volume, mm-hmm. There's only 60 calories. There's 8 grams of protein.
Wow.
There are 3 grams of fiber. There's 11.85 milligrams of thiamine, or B1.
Right.
There's 9.7 milligrams of riboflavin, or B12. There's 5.9 grams of B6 and 17.6 micrograms, which is 1,000. But there's 1,000 milligrams in a microgram of B12.
So you've got your B12, and look, the B vitamins are clutch, right? And B6 really good for skin. It's it's one of the B5, B6.
Well, all the B vitamins,
energy, internets. Yikes.
Well, the B vitamins we need in order to metabolize the foods that we're consuming. So it's integral to our ability to metabolize the food and get everything we need out of them. So that fights 2 points of people saying you won't get enough protein, and we overeat protein. Yeah. And the other one being we don't get B12. So a nutritional yeast, not my favorite name, has both of those. It does. And so 17 micrograms of B12.
Yeah. So great. And I'm telling you that this salad is so delicious.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It also contains, by the way, calcium and potassium. So
that's another big thing too,
exactly.
especially for the ladies.
For sure.
But and we need that.
Well, and potassium, we all need potassium because it regulates our heartbeat. So nutritional yeast is, it boosts energy, it supports the immune system, it promotes healthy skin, hair, and nail growth. It improves glucose sensitivity. It has been shown to support a healthy pregnancy and expectant women.
That's important because you are carrying my baby.
I am carrying a child. I thought we were waiting until the first trimester was over.
I can't. I'm going to shout it from the rooftops of the mountaintops.
I've just barely started showing, Liza.
Halston's having my baby. That's our role play. That's our cosplay. We're Halston and Liza.
That's right.
Switch it up. But so, I mean, there you have, again, another superfood. Mm-hmm. It's fabulous. And to that point, because I can't emphasize this enough for the skin, hair, and nails on the vegan diet. Again, my hair is growing. It's more wide than it is long now. But it's like that alone, you can see a difference.
Oh, well, and we've talked.
People spend so much money on those things.
Everybody, Nibbler has joined us.
It's the
for
Nibbler.
those of you who are watching the podcast.
He's the bad boy of my 3 kittens, which you said aren't kittens anymore, but they're teenagers. Get over here, Nibbles. You're already all over.
The last thing I need him doing is disconnecting.
I know. Always hanging by a thread because I know that fiancés like these. I already have enough cats, so I just make sure
love
we're on
all
our best
animals.
Behavior. So those are. That's one of the things we wanted to talk to you about, and we also you discovered a yogurt that's pretty delicious.
Yeah, so I found this actually yesterday while I was out shopping. It's Maison Riviera. It's coconut based, and I brought home some other coconut based yogurts from the grocery store. You weren't all that keen on them.
I wasn't. I remember that was one of my disappointments because I loved yogurt.
Yeah.
That was something that I did have, and I remember the first yogurt you had here. I was like, nope.
Yeah, it was a President's Choice brand. It was also yogurt based, and then I brought home a Silk almond based.
Love that.
Yeah, which you enjoy.
And I like this a lot.
Yeah, so this is also coconut. It's vanilla flavored.
I like this too because you said it has all the.
It's all got all the probiotics
and biotics, whatever it is. Like, so our whole microbiome.
The bionic mans and all that kind of stuff.
I know. I worried that like microbiome, I thought that was just a place I would play like when I got to be an even bigger comic. But it's our gut health, right? And
sure,
that couldn't get more play right now in the news.
Oh, well, I mean, healthy gut flora is very important to maintaining a healthy overall.
Healthy gut flora is also my new drag queen name.
How many are we up to now? This yogurt, incidentally, is also fortified with vitamin A, B12, and D.
Wow. So there's all the B12 you need, kids. We got B12 up the ass.
We do. Out the yin-yang.
We do. We have B12 enemas going. So, that was really good. I had mine this morning with some granola.
Mm-hmm. Healthy.
And that was yummy.
Yep. Very healthy.
So, always good to have. Oh, Nibbler.
He's making an appearance.
He is. Another funny food thing, maybe to even end on. I don't know how long we've been chatting, or we could keep going. Two things I wanted to bring up. One was listening to something. Everybody's always talking about the visualization, and you've got to visualize. Mm-hmm. And I was reminded by someone, because we watch it like we're watching ourselves, like we're in a movie. They always say the movie in your mind and watch it, and then you're watching it like it's a sitcom playing in front of you. But that's not the way to visualize, because you're separate. You have to visualize it in your mind's eye. So like if you're visualizing accepting an Emmy, you've got to be on stage looking out at the crowd, not looking at yourself.
Interesting.
Yes. It's a really big key, because you want to get the feeling, and you can't get the feeling watching.
You got to change your perspective.
Else. Yes. So you've got to be like, if I was visualizing us doing this podcast, I have to be how I'm sitting now, and I'm looking at you, not myself.
Interesting.
Right? I'm looking at the kitten.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that so many years ago, Michael, and I forgot about it. And I was reminded that is one of the biggest keys to visualizing.
Well, I think it makes perfect sense,
like
really, when you think about it.
It's
you're
from
actually
your perspective.
Exactly. You're playing your own character as opposed to being a bystander observing yourself. It makes perfect sense.
And and that's what I tell people when we do guided meditations. Mm-hmm. You're not watching yourself walking through a forest or on a beach. You're actually experiencing it. So that's what you want to do. I speak with my hands a lot, and now the cat's an impressionist. We're doing a high five. Fantastic. Are you seeing this magic?
I am.
Love my kitten.
I do love your kitten.
I know. Even though he escaped last night and woke you up at 2.
At 2 o'clock in the morning.
I was worried that for some reason the three of them escaped twice. I got up to go to the bathroom, and they're all sitting outside my door. I'm like, okay, guys, what's going on? I don't know. They're like Navy SEALs. They found a way out.
Yeah, they're like Tom Cruise doing a jewel heist or something.
So, So I remember thinking, next time we do the douche-less, I got to talk about that, because I'd forgotten about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
it
makes sense.
You watch yourself like it's, you don't want to be, because that's sort of separate. You want to sort of experience it and like you're seeing through your own eyes.
Honestly,
that's such a smart way.
It makes perfect sense.
I think more and more people are into it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, visualization and to visualize, that technique's been around. I remember my dad used it as a coach in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Like, it's been around forever. Athletes do that. They've done experiments, as you know, scientific experiments where if you just pretend you're running a race, their heartbeat would be the same.
Right.
So as if they were actually doing it, like your brain doesn't know the difference. So it's just a little thing I wanted to mention, because it was a great reminder to me.
I think it's really, it makes, as I said, perfect sense. But, I think there would have to be a great deal of science behind it too, right? It's almost like you're creating some neuro pathways subconsciously.
100%. You got it.
And then therefore you're subconsciously making decisions throughout the course of your day that would take you in that particular direction, right? Without even knowing it. So I think it makes, I guess it's akin to, vision boards, right? People who create vision boards for themselves. And
yeah, exactly. But again, see, you're just looking at that. You'd want to cut out a picture of yourself in the car, I guess. Putting my mug on all you, which you should anyway. And this, whatever Michael says, he puts the man in manifest, as I always say. And,
the girly man in manifest.
Sure. And I said I'm going to teach an online course, because I had this picture. I posted a picture of Dr. Zira getting a belly rub.
Yes.
I said I'm going to teach an online course that helps all dogs manifest more belly rubs. It's called the paw of attraction. Thank you.
Love it.
I'm here all week. Try the Beyond Peel. Stupid animal plays. And I'm like, I know my friends will get it. So yeah. And then another thing that I know you've been going, who would? So TikTok, because we are about to, I'm going to finally do some TikToking.
Yes, you are.
I've been holding out so many freaking.
You've been railing against it as long as you possibly can. And believe you me, like, you know, you and I are in the same age demographic, and I don't understand TikTok either, I have to say, but it's necessary evil.
I love TikTok. I enjoy a lot of the things on there. There's some, I'll watch it. I'll go down the TikTok rabbit hole, hon. It's not that I don't like it. I was just like, it's just another thing to do. There's so many, you know, so much social media. You're blogging, you're tweeting, you're Instaing, there's chat rooms and
isn't there that new television channel, Twitch, Twat, I don't know, whatever it is. I was supposed to do
a Twitch thing last week, and so sometimes it just, and I want it to be a little bit different from the other social medias. So we have something that's coming, hopefully by even next week. I'm excited about it, But I am a fan of TikTok, and there's always different challenges, as you know, some more ridiculous than others. But one went around, and it's putting mustard on watermelon.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw that because Lizzo tried it. You know, the celebs were getting into it, and I thought, you know what, that's vegan. Jagirl will try it for the show. And Jagirl did.
And you liked it. I didn't have the stomach to
I know you wouldn't. Because I'm like, it's actually really good. And you're like, no way in hell, bitch. Not okay. See you tomorrow. All right, then all the best to you and yours in 2021. Because, by the way, the love of my life, but you'll just shut it down in a second. God. I always know by the look on your face. I'm like, so we're not doing that.
Yeah, I don't have to say a word.
No, I really know you. You'll come in and I'm like, all right, what happened?
You can read me like a cheap Harlequin romance. I
remember one time you were just, and I said, oh, we don't need naan bread. And you just went like this. And I went, but we can have it. I love that you have less of a poker face than me. It's just oh, okay, what happened? You'll just, fiance. And I'm like, oh, I know. I can see it. But yeah, you were like, yeah, that's never happening in my lifetime. I'm a cool baller. So have fun with your bad self. But there is something, listen, I love a lot of crazy stuff like that too. So I thought, okay, I bet you it's like the sour and the sweet or something. But I thought, well, I'll just have some and then we'll shenanigans on the show. And no, it was fantastic. I know you're worried that Nibbler's going to cut us off.
Yep, I am.
Oh, boy. Speaking of breathing face.
Dangerously.
It looks accusatory to me, too. Like, and if he does, that's on you.
Dangerously.
I know. So, but it's, I don't know if you want, look, it's vegan. It's mustard and watermelon. Big summertime staple. It was yummy. Give it a try. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, do that.
Or you know what? Because we're trying to get more. Yeah, do that. Michael will not because he's too cool. I'm the guinea pig for all this stuff.
You are. I love it, too.
But, you know, if there's not that, listen, people have some crazy combos, even if it's not vegan, but hopefully more vegan. Because, again, we'd like you to engage. I want to hear from people.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's our favorite thing. So if there's some combo you know of that sounds wackadoo, but is actually magically delicious, let us know.
Tell us about it. We want to know. And Carla will try it.
I know. I will try it. It's going to be stuff like raspberry vodka over Lucky Charms.
Where do I sign up for that one?
See, Michael will try that one. If there's any hooch. But yeah, there's some weird combos that you don't think of that is super delicious. A lot of time it's a weird combo of condiments. I don't know why they always figure prominently, but I think like there's something that mayonnaise, ketchup, and relish is a delicious sauce.
Well, it's not like
also vegan.
Isn't that akin to like a Russian dressing?
It kind of is. It kind of is. But a lot of people don't think of it, or they're. But I love the opposite sometimes, the sweet and sour together. So I mean, I was never a fan of sausage and maple syrup. That always made me like, I don't like them fraternizing on my plate.
Oh, do you not?
Back when I did the breakfast foods, which I loved, I've always been a big egg person. I don't want the maple syrup anywhere near my eggs. I was racist that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like, and a lot of people love that, for example, right? They'll be dipping the eggs in the maple syrup, and I was just, no.
Well, see, that's really interesting to me because all of a sudden I'm thinking, those Beyond sausages glazed with maple syrup could be like, especially the hot, spicy Italian ones.
Yeah.
That could be clutch.
Well, let's try that. We'll try that this week. And so if you know of something that's an odd combo platter, let us know, because I will try it, apparently.
Yes, she will.
I will do anything for and this is like without even financial compensation. I'm just doing it for fun. For the story.
I know.
For the material.
You are a consummate professional. You are willing to throw yourself literally in the trenches for a good story.
I will. There's not something I won't do for a good story. I'm like, okay. Is there going to be a good gag out of this? If it leads to a joke?
You're all over
I'm working on my next album, so whatever I can. There could be a whole like mustard and a watermelon bit. I don't care. It's happening.
The next album's going to be phenomenal too.
I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
I know. It's really all I want to do. Of course, I just want to do comedy and.
Well, that's the sign of a true artist, right? I mean,
I would be in a cave for a year, just like
you want to focus on your art. Makes perfect sense. I mean, that's an artist. That's the definition of an artist. Someone who lives, eats, and breathes and shits their art.
Well, a lot of time. Yes, and sometimes the art is shitty, but that's just part of the process, kids. I feel like that also might be stitched on a pillow. Live, breathe, eat, and shit your art. Very Banksy. All the greats did.
Oh my God.
And you know what? It's easier to do it as a vegan.
It is easier to
shitting out that art.
It's all the fiber. Oh my God.
You just produce so much more art.
Jesus.
I know it sounds like the kind you only see in San Quentin, but I'm telling you right now, woo!
Thank God no one can cancel us.
Whatever. I know. That's the magic. If this ever gets big, we'd have to watch what we said, and then
God,
there goes the magic.
I know, right? There goes the show.
No, we just basically talk like we do any other time.
It's true. You're welcome.
So, anything else, Maestro?
I think we've pretty much covered it all for today.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so.
We hit it.
Well, thanks.
Nailed it.
We did.
Don't have any
standards.
standards.
So we don't.
We pretty much always nail it.
It's true.
But we love that. Love hearing your feedback. Love that you're tuning in, watching, or listening, wherever you may be. Again, remember, for vegans, non-vegans, for everybody. And this week, that's your mission. Give us a weird food combo, especially if it's vegan, due to the name of our show.
Yes.
And don't be douchey. That's all we ask.
Exactly.
And we love you and have a great week.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Always a pleasure.
And Nibbler hasn't fucked anything up.
Not yet.
That's why I'm trying to wrap it up. Swear to God, Kat. Don't make me look bad.
God, yeah. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week.